Most people deeply fear being alone. The quiet, the stillness, it feels unsettling. We often rush to fill that space with distractions, people, or constant noise, always looking for something external to occupy us. The alternative, facing ourselves, seems too difficult. But what if the secret to true strength and clarity is not in running from that discomfort, but in moving toward it? Consider this. When did you last sit in pure silence without reaching for a device or another distraction? Ancient wisdom teaches that the deepest insights come from within. In stillness, we discover truth. It is in solitude that you truly meet yourself. You stop needing others to affirm your value and start recognizing your own inherent worth. If you are ready to see how solitude can reshape your life, to move beyond needing constant approval, and to step into a more resilient and self-directed version of yourself, I invite you to subscribe. This is a commitment to a journey of growth, where you take the lead in shaping your path forward. Many find the silence of being alone almost painful. When the noise of constant interaction fades, an empty space appears, a void people instinctively rush to fill. They seek distractions and validation from others because they are afraid of what they might find in that quiet. But solitude is not an enemy. It is perhaps your greatest ally in understanding who you are. Choosing to be alone opens the door to honest self-reflection. You start to understand yourself in ways that constant external input can never provide. The more time you spend in this state, the more you see it is not an emptiness, but fertile ground for growth. Your thoughts clarify, your values strengthen, and your goals come into focus. In solitude, you learn that you are the most important person in your own life. You begin to trust your own judgment and gain the confidence to make decisions without needing anyone else's endorsement. As the famous thinker noted, those who look outward dream, those who look inward awaken. In moments of solitude, you awaken to your own potential and find strength in silence. Choosing solitude doesn't mean shutting out the world. It means tuning into the most essential relationship you will ever have, the one with yourself. Society often mistakes being alone for weakness, but the opposite is true. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. It is a state of empowerment. It is a space where you can honestly assess who you are, what you want, and where you are headed. The longer you walk this path independently, the more you grow into yourself. You realize your happiness does not depend on another's presence or approval. You find contentment in your own company, understanding you do not need others to feel complete. This is where genuine confidence is born, the confidence that comes from knowing you are whole, capable, and independent, with or without someone by your side. As this journey of self-reflection continues, distractions lose their power. You stop letting other people's opinions dictate how you feel about yourself. Instead, you write your own story, one where you are in control of your emotions, actions, and life. This is where timeless philosophy shows its value. It teaches that our external circumstances do not have to define our inner peace or happiness. As the Roman emperor reflected, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The more time you spend in solitude, the sharper your thoughts become, the clearer your purpose grows, and the less you are swayed by life's inevitable ups and downs. You realize that peace and happiness are found within, not in the chase for others' approval. The fear of solitude isn't just about missing external validation, it's about facing ourselves. Many avoid being alone because they fear confronting their own thoughts, habits, and flaws. It is easier to distract ourselves with relationships, work, or entertainment than to sit with uncomfortable inner truths. But in silence, you can no longer hide from your own mind. This is a good thing. It forces you to confront your insecurities and fears, but also to see your resilience and potential. Embracing this leads to the realization that you are capable of far more than you imagined. This self-awareness is the key to real change. It allows you to move forward with clarity and conviction. In solitude, you discover you already have everything you need to thrive. You simply need to connect with it. The longer you spend in this state, the more a profound truth settles in. You are enough. You do not require anyone else to validate your worth. This changes everything. It is easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation, especially in relationships. We often look to partners, friends, or society to make us feel complete. But approval from others is fleeting. It is based on their perception, not your true self. When you learn to validate yourself, you break free from this cycle of dependence. You stop seeking outside and start recognizing your inherent worth. As the Stoic philosopher noted, the problem is not that we have little time, but that we waste much of it. When you focus on your own growth and refining your thoughts, you stop wasting time on external validation. You see your time is better spent building yourself up. This shift is powerful. It changes how you move through the world. When you stop relying on others for validation, something remarkable occurs. You start to attract people who value you for who you truly are, not for a persona you project. You stop bending to fit others' expectations and stand firm in your own values. This draws the right people into your life. Those who respect, admire, and see your true worth. They are drawn not because you seek them out, but because they are attracted to the confidence and authenticity you now radiate. You no longer need to chase affection or approval. It comes to you naturally. This magnetic quality comes from within, born from knowing you are enough on your own. As you embrace solitude, your standards naturally rise. You stop settling for relationships or situations that don't support your growth or align with your values. This is where your power lies. The longer you maintain your independence, the more you see that you are the prize. You no longer accept behavior that disrespects you, drains your energy, or adds no value. You become selective with your time and careful about who you allow into your world. You understand your energy is precious and you protect it. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Instead, you focus on your own growth. By doing this, you become the best version of yourself. And that is the greatest gift you can offer. This transformation requires commitment to self-awareness, discipline, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths. But the rewards are immense. The longer you spend in solitude, the more you refine your mind and spirit. You start to operate from inner strength, not from fear or desperation. You learn to trust your own judgment, make decisions without seeking approval, and move through life with purpose. You become untouchable because you no longer rely on anything outside yourself for validation. You have learned to find peace within, and that is the foundation of a truly powerful life. In the end, the longer you walk this independent path, the more powerful you become. You learn to embrace solitude, trust yourself, and build a life centered on your own values. You stop seeking validation from others and become the source of your own power. This is the path to self-mastery, a path leading to freedom, strength, and unshakable confidence. Once you walk it, there is no going back. You become the architect of your life, fully in control and unapologetically yourself. In a world that constantly pushes us to seek external approval, breaking free is difficult. We are conditioned to believe our worth is defined by how others see us, through praise, recognition, or acceptance. But what happens when that validation is removed? What if you stopped measuring your value by another's standard? This is where the power of self-validation enters. When you choose solitude and step away from the world's noise, you realize something profound. You don't need anyone's approval to feel complete. At first, this is uncomfortable. The idea of being enough for yourself is challenging, but once embraced, your entire self-perception shifts. You stop seeking constant reassurance and begin to see your own worth. That is when the magic happens. Your self-esteem no longer depends on others. It grows from the realization that you are valuable simply because you exist. This transformation affects every aspect of life. When you no longer depend on others to tell you your worth, you stand stronger, more grounded, and more confident. It's easy to get trapped in the cycle of seeking validation. A compliment or a nod of approval feels good. It gives a temporary sense of being seen. But the danger is making that external validation the foundation of self-worth. When it's gone, you're left feeling empty, unsure of who you are. It is like building a house on sand. The first strong wind can topple it. But in solitude, when the noise quiets and you are left with yourself, you begin to understand your worth is not tied to others' opinions. You begin to validate yourself. This shift changes how you interact with the world. Instead of constantly seeking approval, you become grounded in your own values. Your actions are driven by your principles, not by a need to please. As the philosopher taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. When you validate yourself, you take back control. You stop reacting to others' judgments and start responding from inner strength. You realize your sense of worth is something you carry with you. Self-validation is an act of liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of external expectation. It's giving yourself permission to exist fully as you are, without apology. The beauty of self-validation is that it's not fleeting. It doesn't rely on the whims of others. It's permanent, grounded in the understanding that your value is intrinsic. When you stop measuring your worth by outside opinions, you open the door to true freedom. You stop chasing external approval and start living authentically. As you embrace self-validation, you notice a shift in how others treat you. People are naturally drawn to those confident in their own worth. When you stop seeking validation, you stop chasing after things and people misaligned with your values. Instead, you attract relationships and opportunities rooted in mutual respect. The power of self-validation makes you a magnet for what truly aligns with who you are. You stop wasting time on draining situations and focus on what uplifts you. The longer you walk this path, the more you realize your self-worth doesn't fluctuate based on external circumstances. You become unshakable. Life's ups and downs no longer control how you feel about yourself. Whether you face success or failure, praise or criticism, your value remains. This is the strength of self-validation, the unshakable confidence that comes from within. When you stop seeking validation, you stop depending on outside circumstances to dictate your emotional state. You become your own source of stability. In that stability, you find the freedom to be truly yourself. This journey requires letting go of old patterns of thinking and seeking. It requires deep self-awareness and self-acceptance. But once you start practicing self-validation, incredible changes unfold. Your relationships become healthier based on mutual respect. Your work becomes more fulfilling, aligned with your purpose. Your sense of self-worth becomes unshakable, something no opinion or action can take away. This is where true power lies. Self-validation is not just about feeling good. It's about stepping into your full potential. When you validate yourself, you give yourself permission to be great. You stop holding back from fear of judgment. Instead, you move forward with confidence, knowing your worth is already established. This doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you accept yourself as you are while striving to become your best. It's a journey of self-empowerment where you learn to trust your own abilities. As you continue, you realize you are the only one who can truly determine your worth. You are not at the mercy of anyone's opinions. You are the creator of your self-image, with the power to shape it as you choose. This realization is liberating and empowering. It's the key to living an authentic, fulfilling life, free from the need for constant approval. In conclusion, the power of self-validation is transformative. It shifts your mindset from dependence to independence. It allows you to embrace who you are without fear of judgment. It frees you from the cycle of seeking approval, giving you the confidence to live authentically and pursue your goals with clarity. Once you start validating yourself, you realize you don't need anyone's approval to feel complete. Your worth is already established, and that realization changes everything. It's the foundation of true self-confidence and the key to living a life that is truly yours. There comes a point when we realize we've been seeking something outside ourselves, approval from friends, family, or partners. We spend years searching for validation, confirmation that we are enough, loved, or that we belong. This constant need is exhausting, but what happens when you stop chasing it? What happens when you let go of the idea that your worth depends on the people around you? The moment you stop chasing validation is the moment you begin to experience true freedom. And it's not just about feeling better, it transforms how you engage with the world. The shift from dependency to independence affects how you interact with everyone. When you no longer seek validation, something remarkable happens. You stop playing the endless game of seeking approval and begin to live for yourself. You stop bending over backward to please others, to earn praise, or to fit their expectations. You stop trying to mold yourself into what others think you should be. When you make that shift, the world around you starts to shift as well. Think about it. When you constantly seek something from others, affection, praise, approval, you give away your power. You hand someone else the keys to your emotional state, allowing their opinion to dictate how you feel. But the moment you stop seeking their validation, you take those keys back. You step into your own power and authority. That's when things start to change. When you stand in your power, when you stop looking to others to define you, you become magnetic. It's a paradox of life. When you stop chasing something, that's when it starts chasing you. People are drawn to confidence. Real confidence comes from within, the quiet, unwavering belief that you are enough, regardless of what others think. When you stop seeking approval, you no longer need to prove anything. And when you no longer need to prove anything, people take notice. They see the change in you, the ease, the sense of peace and strength radiating from within. They wonder what makes you so comfortable in your own skin. That is how attraction works. Attraction is magnetic because it comes from a place of independence. It's not about desperate pursuit. It's about standing firmly in your own truth and letting everything else fall into place. The thinker said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." It's terrifying because we've been taught to look outside for validation. But when you embrace who you truly are, when you stop trying to fit a mold, you unlock a level of confidence that is impossible to fake. That confidence draws people in. When you stop needing them, they begin to want you. This isn't just about romantic attraction. This shift influences every aspect of life. Friendships, career, people are drawn to those who don't need them. When you stand in your own power, people see you differently. You're no longer the one chasing approval. You're the one they start seeking out. This shift is liberating and empowering. You realize you are in control of your life. Your happiness, success, and fulfillment all come from within. You stop waiting for others to give you permission to be who you are. But it's not just about attracting others. It's about creating a life aligned with your values, desires, and purpose. When you no longer need validation, you become free to make decisions true to yourself. You stop compromising for others and start living for yourself. The beauty of independence is that it allows you to create a life reflecting who you truly are. You no longer feel pressure to fit society's mold. You start creating your own path, making choices aligned with your inner truth. That path is unique to you. The more you embrace independence, the more you realize you are capable of creating everything you need. You don't need to rely on others to complete, validate, or make you feel important. You are complete as you are. You are the only person who can define your worth. Once you accept that, you stop seeking validation from the outside world. Your worth is not something given or taken by others. It's inherent. When you realize this, you become unstoppable. Importantly, this shift doesn't mean shutting yourself off. Independence doesn't mean isolation. It means freedom. It means you are no longer bound by the need for validation. As a result, you can engage with others more authentically. When you stop seeking approval, you build relationships based on mutual respect, not on a need to be validated. You no longer settle for draining relationships. Instead, you attract relationships that support your growth, challenge you to improve, and align with your values. As you continue down this path, you begin to see how much power you have. You start to trust yourself more, make decisions with confidence, and live life on your own terms. The world shifts because you are no longer trying to fit someone else's vision. You've created your own vision and now you are living it. That is when the true magic happens. The more you embrace your independence, the more you become the person you were always meant to be. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. It takes time to unlearn the habits of seeking validation and to embrace the strength that comes from within. But once you do, you realize the only approval you ever needed was your own. When you stop seeking validation, you start to live with purpose and clarity. You stop chasing things and people misaligned with your true self. In doing so, you start to attract everything meant for you. You stop chasing, and the world begins to chase you. In conclusion, the transition from dependency to independence is one of the most liberating shifts you can make. It starts with realizing you are enough just as you are. Once you embrace that truth, you stop seeking validation. And that's when everything begins to change. You attract the right people, make decisions aligned with your values, and create a life authentically yours. When you stand in your own power, you stop chasing, and that's when the world starts chasing you. This is the paradox of life and the secret to living with true freedom. There's a point when constant noise and distractions begin to feel like a heavy weight. The world pulls in 1,000 directions, demanding attention, energy, and time. The chatter never stops. Social media, conversations, pressure to meet expectations. It's easy to get swept into this chaos, to feel you need to stay in the loop, always reacting. But what happens when you choose to step away from that noise? When you embrace quiet and focus on what truly matters? That's when the magic begins. That's when you discover the power of solitude. Solitude cuts through distractions. When alone, not constantly surrounded by external noise, you realize how much energy has been wasted on things that don't matter. You see that others' opinions, judgments, and societal expectations fade away. In the quiet, you're no longer competing, trying to impress, or following someone else's idea of success. This is when you truly hear your own voice and realize what you want from life. It's a moment of clarity. You no longer care about fitting a mold or following the crowd. You care only about your own journey. This process isn't always easy. The world is noisy, and turning down the volume is hard, especially after spending so much time responding to others' demands. But the longer you spend in solitude, the more you notice how unnecessary those distractions are. You recognize that the constant need to keep up with others' expectations isn't required for happiness or success. In fact, it's the opposite. The more you remove the noise, the clearer your path becomes. You start to focus on what truly matters, your mission, growth, and future. Each day, your life becomes more aligned with your true purpose. As the thinker said, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Solitude provides space for this self-reflection. In silence, you understand who you are and what you truly want. You stop being influenced by fleeting opinions and start shaping your life based on what resonates at your core. This clarity gives you focus. Distractions that once seemed important fade. The need to keep up loses its grip. In its place, you focus on building the life you want. This clarity comes from deep work, examining your values, desires, and goals. As noise fades, you have the opportunity to ask what matters, what is worth your time, energy, and focus. When you answer these questions honestly, your life starts aligning with your purpose. The more you nurture that focus, the more everything else falls into place. You stop chasing distractions and start chasing your vision. Something even more powerful happens when you embrace solitude. Your connection with yourself deepens. You begin to trust yourself more. You stop doubting your instincts and start trusting your decisions. When constantly surrounded by external noise, it's easy to get pulled in many directions. But in solitude, you realize you have all the answers within. You just needed space to hear them. As you tune into your inner voice, you move through life with more confidence and clarity. You see your path more clearly and take steps to walk it. This isn't just about quieting noise for its own sake. It's about creating an intentional, purposeful life aligned with your true self. The more you embrace solitude, the more you see distractions were never serving you. They were keeping you from focusing on what matters. The moment you shift focus inward, your life reflects that. You start attracting the right people, opportunities, and experiences because you're no longer pulled in many directions. You're focused, intentional, aligned. The power of solitude lies in helping you reconnect with your purpose. It allows you to focus on what truly matters. The more you embrace this clarity, the more you see the truth of your situation. You stop pretending to be someone you're not to meet expectations. Instead, you honor your own vision. Your growth becomes the priority. With that priority comes the natural unfolding of your potential. You stop reacting to the world and start creating your own. As you continue to embrace solitude and quiet the noise, something magical happens. You begin to grow in ways you never thought possible. Your mission becomes clearer, your goals more defined. No longer distracted by others' expectations, you can focus on your purpose. You understand your time is your most valuable resource, and you choose where to invest it. No longer worrying about pleasing everyone, you pour energy into building a life true to you. This is where real transformation happens. As you continue to focus, silencing distractions and aligning your life with your purpose, you realize just how powerful you are. Your clarity brings strength. Your focus brings power. The more you nurture this focus, the more your life aligns with your true purpose. It's not about keeping up with everyone else. It's about creating a life uniquely yours. The more you embrace solitude, the more you embrace your own power. Distractions fade, noise quiets, and you are left with only what matters: your mission, growth, and future. In that quiet space, you find the strength to become who you were always meant to be. In the end, it's not about avoiding noise forever. It's about learning to silence it when needed so you can hear your inner voice. It's about learning to focus on what matters, putting energy into your mission and growth. The more you do this, the more the world around you shifts. It's not about following the crowd anymore. It's about forging your own path guided by your purpose. The power of solitude lies in this clarity. The longer you embrace it, the stronger and more focused you become. When you stop seeking validation, something shifts inside. It's subtle but powerful. Your emotions no longer dictate your actions. For most people, emotions control life's narrative. We let them shape decisions, guide reactions, and define how we interact with the world. How often do you make choices based on how you feel in the moment? We all do it. We react to situations, people, challenges, often driven by fear, anger, anxiety, or excitement. But when you step away from needing validation, you take back control of that emotional energy. That is when your life starts to transform. This shift is powerful because it frees you from the emotional roller coaster of constantly seeking approval. When you base happiness and self-worth on someone else's opinion, you're at the mercy of their moods, judgments, and actions. One moment you're up from praise, the next you're down from criticism. This is exhausting and draining, keeping you in a cycle where your emotional state is out of your hands. But when you embrace solitude and start validating yourself, you regain control. You start choosing how to react to the world rather than letting it dictate your emotions. The moment you stop seeking validation, you see your emotional world in a new light. Instead of reacting impulsively, you learn to pause. You give yourself space to respond with clarity and intention, not fear or desperation. This is emotional control. It's not suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's learning to observe feelings without letting them take the reins. It's understanding emotions are temporary. They come and go, but you, your values, and your decisions can remain constant. This is where emotional strength comes into play. When you control your emotions, you gain something far more powerful than any fleeting emotional high or low: the ability to stay grounded. You no longer let life's ups and downs shake you. Instead, you become like a tree in a storm, firm, rooted, and unshaken. As the thinker said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." This is the essence of emotional control. You are not at the mercy of your past, circumstances, or anyone's opinion. You decide how to respond. In that decision lies your true power. This emotional control isn't just for your peace of mind, it's magnetic. People are drawn to those who stay calm in adversity, who don't react impulsively, who respond with thoughtfulness and clarity. Emotional strength commands respect. When others see you remain calm and collected in stressful situations, they notice. They respect you. They look to you for guidance because they sense you have something they don't: control over your emotions, and by extension, control over your life. Think about the people you respect most. Aren't they the ones who don't let emotions run wild? The ones who, no matter what life throws, keep their cool. These people don't waste energy reacting to chaos. They stay grounded, focused, and determined. This is who you become when you master your emotions. It's not about suppressing feelings. It's about understanding, processing, and choosing how to respond. It's gaining the freedom to act based on your values, not on how you feel in the moment. This emotional strength profoundly affects relationships. Think how much more stable and fulfilling connections would be if you weren't constantly reacting to emotional triggers. When you stop seeking validation, you stop being at the mercy of others' moods or opinions. You don't feel the need to impress or change to meet expectations. Instead, you engage from a place of authenticity, knowing you don't need their validation to feel worthy. From this place of emotional control, relationships become more balanced. You no longer attract people drawn to emotional dependency, but those attracted to your strength, clarity, and ability to stand firm. This shift extends beyond relationships to every part of life: work, goals, personal growth. Emotional control allows you to stay focused and aligned with your purpose. You stop getting sidetracked by emotional ups and downs. Instead, you learn to channel energy into what truly matters: your mission, growth, vision. This is the essence of emotional strength. The ability to stay committed to goals no matter the obstacles, to remain calm and focused in challenges, knowing success isn't determined by momentary feelings but by daily actions. The more you practice emotional control, the more you notice how others react. you stop chasing approval and start attracting respect. People value you not for seeking approval, but for remaining centered, grounded, and true. This respect is earned through emotional strength and unwavering sense of self. The more respect you earn, the more powerful your presence becomes. You realize true power lies not in what you control externally, but in what you control within. This emotional control doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifelong practice of self-awareness, discipline, and empowerment. It requires confronting emotions, understanding them, and choosing responses. It takes time, patience, and practice. But once you start, you see changes. You see how much more in control of your life you become. You see how much more powerful, confident, and magnetic you become. Most importantly, you see your life shift from emotional reactivity to emotional mastery. In conclusion, emotional control is a way of life. It's about taking back control over emotions, no longer letting them dictate actions or reactions. It's about standing firm in who you are, no matter what life throws. It's about gaining freedom to act from values, not impulses. In doing so, you attract the respect, relationships, and life you've always wanted. So take control, master your emotions, and watch as your life transforms. When you spend time alone, something incredible happens. You begin to see life differently. No longer distracted by constant social noise, you focus on yourself, your goals, values, and purpose. This solitude is not an absence of company, but an opportunity for growth. As you grow, you raise your standards. You stop tolerating mediocrity. You demand more from yourself, your work, and your relationships. This shift isn't just a change in how you see the world. It's a change in how you see yourself. When you spend time reflecting, you realize you deserve more. You recognize your own worth. With that realization comes new confidence. You no longer settle for old patterns, things once acceptable. The quality of work, effort, and personal development, how people treat you, no longer suffice. You raise the bar, and life begins aligning with your new standards. The impact of high standards goes beyond personal growth. It affects how you interact with the world. People sense when someone has high standards. It's not just what you say, it's how you carry yourself. When you hold yourself to a higher standard, others see that. They recognize the change, even if they can't articulate it. This shift in behavior and mindset becomes magnetic. People are attracted to those who value themselves. When you stop tolerating mediocrity, you attract higher quality people and opportunities. This holds true for relationships. When constantly surrounded by distractions and settling for whatever comes, you often don't realize how much you're allowing yourself to settle. But when you spend time alone, focusing on yourself, you realize what you truly deserve. You stop looking for someone just to fill space and start looking for someone aligning with your values, complementing your growth, not holding you back. In relationships, people can feel when someone has high standards. They sense the difference between desperation for attention and knowing one's worth. It's a powerful shift. When you value yourself and stop settling for less, others start to value you too. This is the law of attraction in its purest form. The more you value yourself, the more others recognize that value. It's not arrogance or entitlement. It's confidence in who you are and what you bring. As the thinker noted, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. When you live according to your high standards, you stop pretending to gain approval. You embrace who you truly are. In doing so, you attract the right people. This shift applies to all relationships: friends, family, colleagues. When you raise standards, you stop accepting disrespectful or holding back behavior. You stop tolerating draining relationships that ask more than they give and fail to support growth. The more you value yourself, the more you recognize when someone isn't treating you with deserved respect. You surround yourself with people aligning with your values and encouraging growth. The more you raise standards, the more you understand true self-respect. It's not expecting perfection from others. It's holding yourself accountable and expecting others to meet the same standards. This doesn't mean being demanding or hard to please. It means knowing what you bring and expecting commitment, integrity, and respect in return. As you develop high standards, you become more selective. You stop making excuses for behavior and start expecting better. As a result, relationships become stronger, more fulfilling, and authentic. This shift also profoundly impacts work and goals. When you stop settling for mediocrity, you push to achieve more. You stop doing the bare minimum and aim for excellence. Whether working on a project, building a business, or improving health, you set higher goals. This commitment to excellence changes how you show up. People notice the effort, dedication, and passion. This commitment becomes infectious, inspiring others to raise their standards. When no longer satisfied with just getting by, you achieve more. The more you push to meet high standards, the more progress you see. This builds momentum. What started as a mindset shift becomes a way of life. Your standards become ingrained, shaping every decision. You stop compromising on what you want and take bold steps to achieve it. Raising standards isn't just about success. It's about living with integrity. It's about being true to yourself, refusing to settle for less, and committing to becoming your best. The more you embrace this mindset, the more you see your potential. You stop letting fear, doubt, or external pressure hold you back. You realize the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. The key is understanding high standards aren't about demanding perfection from others or yourself. They're about committing to personal growth and never settling for less than you're capable of. It's valuing yourself so much you no longer tolerate mediocrity in any area. As you raise standards, you create a life reflecting that growth, one attracting the right people, opportunities, and experiences aligning with your vision. In the end, the impact of high standards is profound. It changes how you see yourself, interact with the world, and build relationships. When you raise standards, you stop settling for less than you deserve. In doing so, you become a magnet for the life you've dreamed of. You stop chasing approval and start building a life commanding respect. Your standards reflect your value. When you live by them, the world takes notice. Over time, embracing solitude and focusing on growth, something remarkable unfolds. You realize your worth isn't tied to others' opinions. This realization transforms how you see yourself. At first, it's subtle. You might not notice. But as you refine your mindset and prioritize self-improvement, you recognize your value in new ways. This isn't just feeling good. It's deeply understanding who you are and what you deserve. With that understanding, you stop tolerating misaligned behavior. You stop accepting mediocrity in relationships, work, and life. Most of us have spent years, even decades, chasing approval. We've been conditioned to believe value is defined by others' perception. In romantic relationships, friendships, or professional settings, we compromise values or settle for less to fit in or gain approval. But once you understand your worth, you no longer chase validation. You stop bending over backward to make others like you or meet expectations. Instead, you live for yourself, making choices honoring who you truly are. This shift changes how you show up. You begin to command respect, not because you demand it, but because you've built yourself up where your presence is enough. When you stop chasing external validation, you uncover your core. You realize worth isn't given or taken by others, it's inherent. This realization is liberating. It frees you from needing to impress, please, or earn approval. You exist unapologetically as your authentic self. In doing so, self-worth skyrockets. As self-worth grows, so do standards. You stop tolerating people who bring no value. You recognize time, energy, and attention are precious. and you stop wasting them on draining relationships. You stop allowing toxic people space. Instead, you surround yourself with individuals aligning with values, supporting growth, and treating you with deserved respect. This isn't being picky or demanding. It's respecting yourself enough to set boundaries and stop tolerating what doesn't serve your highest good. The more you embrace this shift, the stronger you become. It's not just cutting off disrespectful people, it's a fundamental change in self-view. You no longer compromise values to make others comfortable. You no longer change to fit someone's idea of you. When you understand your worth, you stop settling for misaligned relationships or situations. You become selective. That itself is powerful self-respect. The moment you stop compromising values, you stop giving away power. You see that honoring yourself makes you stronger and attracts others who respect you in return. This transformation makes you untouchable, not unreachable or arrogant, but so rooted in self-worth that nothing can shake it. Others' opinions, judgments, criticisms lose power. When you stop compromising, you develop unshakable inner strength. You become impervious to things that once threw you off course. Worldly noise becomes just noise, powerless to pull you from mission or purpose. You become the rock, unmovable and firm, because you know who you are and what you stand for. This transformation also makes you more magnetic. When you understand your worth, stop chasing approval, and stop tolerating misaligned behavior, you attract the right people. You no longer need to seek validation. It comes naturally. People are drawn to confidence and authenticity. When you stop pretending and changing to fit molds, people see you for who you truly are. They respect you because you've remained true. This is when you realize power was always within. Recognizing your worth unlocked it. Remember, this transformation is a process, not overnight. It takes time to build self-worth, especially after years seeking validation. But with each step, each moment choosing yourself over others' opinions, you become stronger. You trust yourself more. You make decisions confidently, no longer second-guessing worth or choices. As you continue, you realize self-worth isn't something anyone can take. It's yours to hold. That is a powerful realization. As standards rise and self-worth deepens, you see the world differently. People around you may change too. You stop attracting wrong relationships and bring in people matching your energy, values, and aspirations. It's not magic. It's a reflection of who you've become. You no longer settle for less, and the world begins to meet you at the level you've set. This transformation changes your entire life. You operate from abundance, not scarcity. You realize there's no need to chase anyone or anything because you are already complete, whole, worthy. In the end, the transformation of self-worth is recognizing inherent value and refusing to settle for less than aligns with your highest self. It's standing firm in beliefs, respecting your time, energy, and attention, and demanding the same respect. Once you step into this power, stop compromising values. You not only grow stronger, you become untouchable. Nothing and no one can shake your self-worth because you know who you are and what you deserve. In that knowing, you become unstoppable. The longer you remain independent, the clearer things become. At first, being alone with your thoughts, free from others' expectations, might feel uncomfortable, but as time passes, something profound happens. You start to realize you are whole as you are. You begin to understand you don't need anyone to complete you. You never did. That realization is liberating and empowering, a moment when everything shifts. You stop viewing relationships as a necessity or obligation and start seeing them as a choice. That shift makes all the difference. For most, relationships are seen as essential. We grow up with the idea we're supposed to find the one, that being in a relationship is the ultimate goal. Society reinforces this, showing love and companionship as pinnacles of happiness. But when you step back, giving yourself time and space alone, you realize something many never grasp. You don't need anyone else to define you. You are already enough. It might feel strange initially, but the more you embrace this truth, the clearer your vision becomes. You stop seeking someone to fill gaps and start filling them yourself. You realize worth isn't dependent on being in a relationship. That's incredibly freeing. This clarity changes how you approach relationships. Instead of viewing them as a solution to loneliness or a way to prove worth, you see them for what they are, a choice. You realize connecting should be because they add value, not because you need them to feel whole. That's when the power of choice comes into play. You begin to choose partners aligning with your vision, complementing growth and supporting your journey. No longer willing to settle for relationships not serving your highest good. You're not looking to fill a void. Instead, you seek someone enhancing life, bringing something meaningful, sharing values and goals. This journey of self-discovery, embracing solitude, learning you are complete alone, allows stepping into this power of choice. When you know who you are and understand your worth, you stop seeking someone to define you. Instead, you become selective. You no longer chase validation or approval because you found it within. This makes chosen relationships more meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with purpose. When no longer looking for completion, relationship pressure fades. You stop feeling you need to settle, compromise values, or force something to work from fear of being alone. You choose partners fitting into life in ways enhancing both journeys. You attract people on the same path, equally whole and secure. These relationships bring out the best not because you need them to, but because they support the best version of yourself. You realize relationships aren't about filling needs. They're about mutual respect, shared growth, and deep connection enriching both lives. This shift is powerful because it lets you take control. You no longer feel the need to rush into a relationship for companionship. Instead, you take time, focus on growth, and make choices aligning with who you're becoming. You no longer settle for less. You build a life reflecting your values, goals, and vision. When entering a relationship, it's from wholeness, not neediness. You bring your best self and attract someone doing the same. This process doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to shift from dependency to independence, to stop seeking validation and start validating yourself. But the longer you embrace this self-discovery journey, the more you realize relationships are a gift, not a requirement, an opportunity to grow together with someone sharing vision, complementing life, and adding value. Reaching that point, no longer looking for completion, you become someone attracting relationships built on mutual respect, authenticity, and growth. This transformation affects every aspect of existence. The more you realize you don't need anyone to complete you, the more confident you become in decisions, career, and personal goals. You make choices aligned with values and vision, not based on others' thoughts or expectations. You stop being swayed by opinions and live life on your own terms. The power of choice frees you in every area. You create a life reflecting who you truly are, and that life becomes a magnet for everything you've ever wanted. When you stop seeking validation and embrace your worth, you realize you don't have to chase anything. Everything you need is already within. The relationships you choose, opportunities you create, success you achieve, all come from inner strength and clarity. You attract people and experiences aligned with who you are and becoming. The more you trust your power, the more you realize choices shape destiny. In the end, the power of choice is liberating. The longer you walk independently, the clearer your vision becomes. You stop seeing relationships as a requirement and start seeing them as a choice. a choice to connect with someone adding value, enhancing your journey, supporting growth. When you understand you are already whole, embrace your worth. You stop chasing and start choosing. That's when the world opens in ways never thought possible. Your life, relationships, success align with true purpose. The power to create that life is yours. When you begin living with clarity and self-respect, something extraordinary happens. Your energy shifts in undeniable ways. You stop chasing attention or seeking validation. This shift is subtle initially but becomes more apparent over time. The need to impress people through words, actions, or fitting in fades. Instead, you focus on something more powerful, your own growth, mission, purpose, and then something remarkable happens. People start to notice you, but not because you're trying to impress them. It's because your energy has become magnetic. You've stopped chasing and now others are drawn naturally. There's a powerful energy shift when you stop looking outside for affirmation, when you stop needing others to tell you you're enough. Your entire presence changes. You show up differently. It's an inside-out transformation. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You stop putting on a facade to gain approval or fit a non-you mold. Instead, you walk through the world confident in who you are, knowing you don't need validation to feel worthy. That confidence is a quiet force, steady, unwavering, commanding respect without asking. When you embrace who you truly are, stop seeking approval and accept your worth, magic happens. You no longer live for others' expectations. You live for yourself. That creates an energy that can't be ignored. This shift doesn't require external acknowledgement, it just is. People sense it without a word. They feel your presence, clarity, drive. Your energy speaks. It's magnetic because it's authentic, coming from true self-acceptance. That's what draws people. The beauty is this doesn't happen because you're trying to get something. It happens because you've stopped seeking. You're not trying to impress, gain approval, or fit an image. You're focused on your path, your mission. You've stopped looking outward and started looking inward, building life on your values and purpose. Because of that, people sense quiet strength, depth, and confidence. They want to know what drives you because they feel you're someone not swayed by opinions. You're grounded, clear, in control. They're drawn to that. This energy shift affects how you interact with the world. When no longer begging for attention or validation, you stop investing energy in draining things. You stop spending time on relationships or pursuits misaligned with mission or purpose. Your energy becomes focused. You become selective with time and energy. Because of this focus, life aligns with what matters. Goals become clearer, path becomes defined, distractions lose their grip. You become more powerful because energy is concentrated, directed toward what truly serves. As you operate from clarity and focus, your influence grows. People notice your energy, presence. They see you don't chase validation, you're secure. This draws others not because you're trying to impress, but because you're living authentically. When living authentically, not pretending to fit someone's idea, people are drawn. They want to be around your confidence, clarity, purpose. The best part, you don't need to do anything. It's about being true and allowing energy to speak. This transformation changes how you see yourself. The more you live with clarity and self-respect, the more you understand your value. You stop doubting, second-guessing, seeking reassurance. Instead, you make decisions from strength, knowing you're capable enough. You trust intuition, judgment, ability to create wanted life. The more you trust yourself, the more your energy reflects that trust. It's a feedback loop. More self-trust brings others' trust and more powerful presence. This energy shift can't be faked. It comes from deep self-awareness and self-acceptance. It's not something mimicked or put on for others. It comes from truly understanding worth and stepping into power. It's quiet but undeniable. the kind drawing people because it's authentic, grounded, real. This energy helps in everything: career, goals, creative pursuits. Clarity and self-respect give confidence to move forward, take risks, pursue purpose without hesitation. But the journey has challenges. There will be uncertainty, questioning path or worth. Moments when world noise tries to pull back into seeking validation. But the more you focus on growth, the stronger your foundation. The more you choose yourself and mission over external approval, the more you strengthen energy and sense of self. This energy becomes a guiding force, helping stay on track even when difficult. It's power from within. The more nurtured, the more it serves. In the end, the energy shift is about living authentically and intentionally. It's letting go of needing validation and choosing to live for yourself. When you do, your energy becomes magnetic. People are drawn to confidence, clarity, purpose. You become a force because you've stopped chasing and started living from true self-respect. Your presence commands attention not because you seek it, but because it naturally emanates from authenticity. This is the power of living with clarity and self-respect, a power that, once tapped, transforms every aspect of life. One of the most powerful actions is also simplest: walking away. It sounds easy but feels difficult, especially in relationships. We're taught to hold on, work things out, be understanding, try our best. But one of the greatest acts of self-respect is walking away from people who don't respect you. It's not giving up or weakness, it's knowing your worth and having courage to walk from situations misaligned with values or growth. When you spend time alone, embrace solitude, stop seeking validation, you develop deep self-worth. This newfound confidence changes how you interact. You realize you don't have to tolerate disrespect, settle for undermining relationships or situations. The more time understanding who you are and deserve, the easier walking away becomes. The longer you remain independent, the more you recognize peace of mind is more valuable than any relationship or external approval. At first, walking away might feel like failure or giving up. But in reality, it's often strength and clarity. When no longer needing external validation, no longer relying on others to complete you, you see more clearly people and situations, adding value and those taking it away. This is where power lies. The decision to walk away doesn't require explanation or justification. You don't need to explain worth to anyone who can't see it. You don't owe an explanation for prioritizing peace and growth. The ability to walk away without hesitation or guilt is empowering. When you walk away from toxic people and situations, you stop tolerating low-value behavior. You stop accepting less than deserved. In doing so, you attract more of what you want. You set a standard for treatment, and that standard shapes reality. You stop accepting disrespect, manipulation, any treatment misaligned with self-worth. This doesn't mean becoming cold or callous. It means valuing yourself enough not to tolerate less than respect, kindness, mutual growth. As the thinker said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." This is what happens when you walk away. Actions speak louder. Walking away affirms worth. It says, "I am worthy of respect, love, treatment aligning with values and goals." It's not seeking revenge or dramatic exit. It's maintaining integrity, protecting energy, honoring sense of self. Walking away becomes a clear boundary, defining what you will and won't accept. As you strengthen self-worth, walking away applies to any dragging situation. A job not fulfilling, draining friendship, holding back habit. The ability to walk from anything no longer serving growth is powerful self-love. It's making room for what aligns with purpose, values, mission. When you walk from what doesn't serve, you create space for what matters. You become life's architect, one decision at a time. One liberating aspect of walking away is no longer needing to explain. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing yourself. In fact, the more you walk from situations disrespecting boundaries, the more your energy shifts. People start respecting you not because demanded, but because actions demonstrated self-respect. When walking from low-value behavior, you show you know your worth. When you know worth, others notice. This doesn't mean stopping caring or becoming indifferent. It means learning self-respect and emotional boundaries. It means understanding the value of peace of mind and protecting energy. Walking away isn't cutting off with bitterness or resentment. It's recognizing some people, no matter how much you care, don't belong if misaligned. You don't need to carry others' negativity, manipulation, disrespect. Walking away releases weight, moving forward with renewed purpose and strength. When you do this, stop tolerating non-serving behavior, stop seeking validation, start walking from what doesn't honor worth. You realize something profound. Life starts reflecting standards. Relationships become healthier, opportunities align more, energy focuses. You stop wasting time on draining things and invest in building up. That's where true growth happens. Walking from holding back things creates space to move into life, truly aligning with highest self. This shift has challenges. There will be doubt, feeling like letting go of something important. But as you continue walking from what doesn't serve, you'll see every step toward honoring worth brings closer to dreamed life. You stop being weighed by toxic relationships, low-value situations, need for validation. You start living with clarity, purpose, confidence from knowing you're in control. In the end, the art of walking away is a powerful tool in self-mastery. It's recognizing peace, growth, integrity are worth more than external validation or toxic relationships. It's walking from misaligned values and choosing to protect energy for what matters most. When you learn to walk away with grace and confidence, you discover new freedom, strength, empowerment from knowing worth and standing firm. Every moment alone offers profound opportunity, a chance to shape identity, refine character, build future. For many, being alone feels intimidating. We're taught relationships are happiness and success cornerstones. The thought without a partner can feel like a void. But stepping back, embracing solitude, you realize something incredible. It's not a void. It's a blank canvas, space to paint your life, identity. It's not about being alone. It's about what you do with that time, and what you can do is extraordinary. In solitude, free from external opinions, relationships, noise of seeking validation, you no longer get lost in pleasing others or fitting expectations. This is your time focusing on growth, goals, future. The power of independence gives space to turn inward, ask, who am I? Who do I want to become? What life do I want? Answering, you shape the person becoming. This self-discovery and self-shaping gains control. No longer relying on others to define worth or validate existence, you define yourself. You create standards. This isn't selfishness or disconnection, it's taking responsibility for life and happiness. You realize identity isn't defined by relationships or circumstances. It's crafted moment by moment, choice by choice. The essence of ancient philosophy is focusing on what you control and detaching from what you cannot. In solitude, you understand deeply. You realize the only thing truly controllable is yourself. Thoughts, actions, responses. Everything else is beyond grasp. This realization frees, giving clarity to stop worrying about non-serving things. You stop focusing on others' approval, whether liked, fitting images of success. Instead, focus on controllable development. As the philosopher said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and find strength. This is shaping identity core. When stop relying on others to shape sense of self, tap into inner strength. Focus on building wanted life, not expected. Focusing creates something more meaningful than external identity. life rooted in authenticity, reflecting values, passions, true purpose. In solitude, refining who you are also sets future foundation. When stop seeking validation, stop wasting time trying to live up to others' standards. Create standards. Here growth accelerates. Every day becomes chance to improve, challenge, progress toward becoming. No longer feeling need to live for approval, live for own approval. That shift is where true transformation begins. This transformation requires self-discipline, self-awareness, willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But that's what makes powerful. Facing reality, you're responsible for life, growth, happiness. You see everything differently. Stop blaming circumstances, people, external factors. Start taking ownership of where and going. This responsibility extends to engaging with world. As shape identity, set boundaries, make intentional choices, direct energy toward what matters. Stop wasting time on draining or taking from purpose. Prioritize supporting growth, aligning values. Energy focuses, life intentional. Continuing build, realize how much power have. The more shape identity, stronger become. See self not as victim, but creator. Confidence grows not from seeking validation, but knowing who are and stand for. This clarity, self-awareness gives strength to face challenges resiliently. Understand every obstacle is growth opportunity, every setback a lesson, because self-worth no longer tied to opinions. Move through world with quiet strength others notice. In shaping identity, learn to embrace flaws. No longer need perfection, live up to unrealistic societal standards. Accept fully imperfections and all. That acceptance becomes confidence foundation. When stop trying to be someone not, give freedom to be truly. That liberating. True strength lies not conforming, but embracing who are and committing to growth. As identity solidifies, relationships change. No longer seeking validation. Stop attracting neediness, dependency-based relationships. Attract grounded in mutual respect, shared values, authenticity. More shape identity, more attract valuing truly, not projected image. These relationships stronger from mutual understanding, genuine connection, longer independent, focusing shaping identity, realize world is canvas, have power to create wanted life, be person want, design deserved future. Every refining moment is investment. More control identity, more step into power, that power not taken, yours shape, mold, direct toward highest purpose. In end, shaping identity art is more than self-improvement. It's living purposefully, authentically, self-respectfully, understanding growth most important. When stop looking to others define, realize only person need impress is self. Living for self with clarity, intention, everything falls into place. Stop passive observer, start active creator. That essence, true power. One surprising solitude benefit most don't realize until experienced is time. Time, precious, often taken for granted, becomes yours as never before. No longer distracted by constant need. Win affection or attention. See vast expanse always there, waiting used. Think, how many hours spent chasing approval, waiting validation, maintaining non-value relationships. All that draining time could focused growth, mission, purpose, embracing solitude more, realize how much time truly at disposal moment. Stop seeking external validation, reclaim time. No longer swallowed endless distractions or emotional turmoil meeting expectations. Direct energy toward what matters. Mission, growth, passions take center stage. Stop caught others' drama, needs, desires. Invest self. Feel happening, moment. Stop chasing misaligned. Time stretches like open road, full possibility. Every moment opportunity, move closer goals. Build dreamed life, create uniquely yours. Realizing control time liberating. In world constantly pulling thousand directions. taking back time freedom most never experience. Long-taught relationships, validation, pleasing others' priorities, spending time alone, see how much energy spent meeting needs. Little spent most important relationship, with self. No longer bound needing approval, focus controllable, growth, success, happiness. Time becomes yours as please. Choose spend, who with, projects pour energy. That shift, time liberation, game changer. This shift changes time valuation, becomes precious commodity guarded fiercely, no longer slips unnoticed, treated, respect. Realize time once spent, never recovered, because that, intentional use. Instead, our social media, meaningless conversations, draining people. Choose invest aligning goals, values. Time becomes asset, used strategically, not wastefully. Guarding more, realize, accomplish, stopping people, distractions, steal precious moments. Protecting time, protect peace. No longer let people, situations disturb focus. Stopping validation seeking, see unnecessary drama allowed. Easy caught others' needs, demands. Realizing time limited, valuable. Stop giving people, situations not contributing well-being. Selective energy investment. Doesn't mean selfish, disconnected, means prioritizing time, mental space, emotional well-being. Create boundaries others' self, ensuring not wasting own time, non-serving higher purpose. Time view, use change, approaches personal growth. Freedom time, finally devote truly matters, pursuing passion, learning new, focusing health. No longer feel need rush life or check boxes meet expectations. Take time, own pace, focusing actually bringing value. Time becomes tool, personal evolution. No longer slips unnoticed. Consciously used, grow, improve, become best self. Continuing embrace solitude, protect time, recognize, accomplish more. Stop spreading thin meeting demands. Focus, truly want, achieve. Clarity allows more productive, efficient, aligned goals. Protecting time more, realize potential. Create wanted life. No longer distracted, pleasing others, pour energy matters most. Focus purpose, make real progress. Shift changes, interact others. Valuing time, attract valuing, respecting yours. Stop wasting draining relationships. Build connections, sharing vision, focused growth. Surround inspiring, challenging, encouraging growth. Relationships intentional, meaningful, aligned, building self. Beauty all, stopping chasing validation. Protecting time, life becomes yours. No longer feel passive participant. Stop waiting things happen, make happen. Time, energy, focus become driving forces propelling forward. See dreamed life, not reach. Build peace time now. Liberation sense powerful. More reclaim time, more realize power. Time one thing, never back. Realizing value, use wisely. No longer trapped demands, distractions, others. Take control time, use shape want. Doing, realize life, create, not living expectations. Living self, terms, purposefully, clearly. End, time liberation, not more hours day. Understanding time, protect, invest growth, build want. More value, protect time. More create life, aligning true self. Stop chasing approval. Start investing growth, mission, purpose. Doing, create, fulfilling, meaningful, uniquely yours life. Longer independent, start discover profound truth, inner peace. First, may feel fleeting calm. Something experienced solitude moments. Time on, realize peace, not temporary feeling, state being. Learn live harmony self. Stop relying external factors, approval, affection, validation, feel complete, game changer, most, desire liked, accepted, loved, often feels constant need, driving life. Stopping seeking others, realize true happiness, contentment within. First experiencing shift, eye-opening, quiet realization, chasing something outside whole life. sought approval friends, family, partners, thinking validation make complete. Understand no external praise or affection fill inner void. Not given, cultivate within. Doing, find true happiness. Happiness no longer depends others' opinion. Worth not determined others. Experience deep peace. Discovered incredibly powerful. Shifts entire perspective. Stop affected external events. Others say, circumstances beyond control. Move through life calmness. Confidence knowing enough as are. No longer dependent approval feel whole. Nothing shake foundation. Criticisms, challenges, setbacks lose power. Instead, reacting, respond grounded strength. More focus cultivating worth sense. Less need, world fulfilled. Stop relying others fill gaps. Doing, inner peace grows stronger. Become steady presence carried wherever go. More look inward, awaken answers searching within. Needed space, quiet here. No longer seeking validation, build unshakable foundation. Nothing outside determines self-worth. No longer tossed opinions or changing tides, circumstances. Doesn't mean shutting off or stop caring. Means stop giving power, stop giving people ability, dictate emotional state or worth. Become self-sufficient, standing strong who are, stand for. Happiness no longer depends someone approving, comes within. Self-sufficiency gives ability move, confidence. No longer need prove self. Constant striving meet expectations fades. Place, develop peace knowing already enough. No longer need anyone validate choices, lifestyle, goals. Decisions-based values, vision. Not seeking approval, avoiding judgment. Stop seeking permission, live life. Live own terms. Gives freedom hard. Put words. Cultivating inner peace, notice else. World changes. Start attracting people, opportunities, experiences aligning self-worth. Stop trying impress, fit, create space right people, circumstances enter. No longer settle draining relationships, situations. Stop tolerating misaligned behavior. Surround supporting, uplifting. Notice energy given changed. World responds differently. More embrace self-sufficiency, inner peace. More realize control truly have. No longer passive participant waiting things happen. Creator happiness, success, peace mind. See have everything need within live want. External world no longer power dictate emotions, decisions, worth. Take back power, doing, create life aligning true self. Developing inner peace, self-sufficiency process requires time, patience, willingness. Confront uncomfortable truths. Rewards worth effort. Letting go need external validation. Embracing peace within. Create life truly own. Stop living others. Start living self. Doing, realize, capable achieving anything set mind because have everything need already. Enough as are. More nurture inner peace. More realize true happiness not given. Create self. Stop relying others' emotional well-being. Start cultivating within. Doing, become force. Become unstoppable because self-worth unshakable. Realize nothing, no one take peace, happiness, purpose, sense because come within. Source happiness, power no one take. Conclusion journey, inner peace. Self-sufficiency not easy but rewarding. More learn, live peace self. Less rely others' validation, affection. Realize true happiness within. Ability move, calmness. Confidence comes knowing already whole. Stop seeking external validation. Embrace worth, nothing shake foundation. Become self-sufficient, strong, unshakable. That greatest freedom achieve. Fear something most deal daily. Recognized not. Fear alone. Rejection not fitting. These shape lives, guide decisions, limit actions. Keep pursuing matters most. But fear loses grip, embracing solitude. Moment start, live self, focus growth path. Incredible happens. Fears once held back fade background. Long, many afraid alone. Feels uncomfortable first. Silence, stillness, Lack company can uneasy, like missing something. Spending more solitude, realize nothing wrong alone. Fact, moments find space, truly know self. Stop relying validation, validate self. Doing fear alone slowly dissolves, replaced peace, contentment within. Along fear alone, another looms large. Rejection, fear putting out, expressing truly because worry won't accept. Live world constantly tells fit, conform, be like else. Embracing solitude, let go fear. Start realize rejection, not end world, not reflection worth, simply part life. More time own company, understand true acceptance within. Stopping validation seeking, rejection loses power. No longer fear because realize no bearing value. Understanding liberating, not stop caring or indifferent opinions. Stop letting define, no longer live. Fear, think. Stop bending shapes fit someone's idea should. Embrace freedom comes true self. Start living own approval. Make decisions based values, not think expect. Doing realize, no longer held back fear, rejection, or need conform. Fearlessness separates weak, strong. Weak, constant fear, base worth opinions, spend lives chasing approval. Strong learned embrace fully, no longer fear different, rejection. Understand true strength comes authenticity, standing firm, not allowing external pressures dictate life. Fearlessness, not invincibility or emotionlessness, not ignoring entirely. Understanding fear, not control. Accepting fear, natural part life, not letting dictate actions, limit potential. More time solitude, realize fear feeling, acknowledge, not act. See fear often rooted uncertainty, not knowing future holds. Comfortable uncertainty, embracing unknown fear, loses power. Move life calm, confidence knowing fear, passing emotion, not controlling force. True essence freedom, be self without fear, judgment, rejection, failure. Moving life courage, knowing don't need approval, feel worthy. Realize not defined roles expect, labels place, defined truly. Embracing, stop living fear, think, start living self. Doing, create life, reflecting authentic self. Continuing path, notice else. More embrace fearlessness, more attract people. Opportunities aligning authentic self. Stop pretending not, stop hiding masks, right people show. Attract appreciating truly, not pretend. Realize fearlessness frees self-doubt grip. Opens doors, meaningful relationships. Experiences otherwise impossible. Transformation not overnight. Process requires patience, self-reflection. Continuing walk, find more, embrace solitude, fearlessness, life shifts. No longer live approval, because that, start living truly own. Make decisions, strength, authenticity. Doing, create life, aligns deepest values, desires. End, embracing solitude, fearlessness, not overcoming fear. Embracing true self. Accepting who are, flaws all, moving life. Confidence comes, knowing enough. Stopping seeking validation, stop living fear, rejection, not fitting. Begin life-free constraints once held back. Begin step power, that power taken, yours. Unstoppable, longer independent, begin realize profound. Becoming unstoppable, not happen overnight, not easily pinpoint first. Time, grow, refine, see transformation unfold. Develop emotional control, clarity, high standards, focus. Not just words, abstract concepts. Qualities become deeply embedded. Evolution turns someone easily swayed, distracted, held back. Learned build life around mission, purpose. Everything do aligned matters most. Distractions once tempting no longer hold power. Realize living life others too long. Spent time trying meet expectations, chasing approval, worrying thought. Embracing solitude, focus, growth, everything changes. Stop wasting non-serving, people not value, activities misaligned goals, opinions not matter. Clarity brings immense freedom. No longer feel chasing, not trying impress, seek validation outside. Operate place power, inner strength, knowing exactly capable. Transformation changes feels self. Changes interact world. More emotionally controlled, self-aware, more resilient adversity. Things used rattle, shake confidence, no longer affect. Built mental, emotional fortress. Challenges arise, not react impulsively, caught chaos. Meet calmness, clarity, clear vision going, nothing distract path. Addition emotional control, developed high standards. Self, no longer settle mediocrity work, relationships. No time, energy precious. Refuse waste anyone, anything, misaligned values. Learned key success, fulfillment, happiness, choosing wisely. Relationships carefully, projects thoughtfully, goals intentionally. Stopped yes, obligation, chief, fear, missing out. Learned no non-serving highest purpose. Power lies. Don't need approval because built self-worth inside out. No capable, worthy, deserving everything desire. Operating place, attract right people, opportunities life. More prioritize growth, mission, world reflects back. Stop chasing draining, misaligned goals. Attract people respecting boundaries, sharing values, equally focused growth. Longer independent, realize relationships, choose no longer based need, but desire. No longer look someone fill void, complete. Already whole, complete. Choose partner, sharp friend, because add value, not need define worth. Learned choose people challenging, supporting growth, enhancing life, rather draining, holding back. Surround, become reflection, become strong, self-sufficient, unstoppable. Mindset shift, transformation, operating power. Profound affects every area life. Career, health, relationships. Align new sense self. No longer stuck cycle self-doubt. Fear, rejection. Approach every situation. Clarity, focus, confidence. No control life. Only limits place self. Continuing path, realize capable achieving anything set mind because built foundation mental, emotional strength required overcome obstacle. Reaching point, developed emotional control, clarity, high standards, become force world. Stop playing small, stop apologizing, taking space. Start speak conviction, act purpose, live intention. Energy no longer scattered, focused, directed, unstoppable. People notice shift. Feel power radiate because comes inner place self-assurance, self-respect. No longer seeking anything, learned everything need within. Shift not mean life easier, means face challenges different mindset. No longer fear failure because understand failure stepping stone success. No longer fear rejection because learned rejection, not reflection worth, part journey. No longer fear standing out because no. Path success paved willing go way. Continuing live place self-sufficiency, purpose, find world opens ways never imagined. Opportunities, relationships, experiences. Aligning vision show because no longer chasing. Become someone attracts want, not need, but built deserve. True power. Extended independence time, not avoiding relationships, using time, become best self. Becoming grounded sense self, no longer need anyone, anything complete. Become unstoppable, don't need permission, live want. Take. Continuing build deserve, remember. Creator, destiny. Living clarity, purpose, unwavering belief worth, nothing stand way. Keep moving forward, keep embracing power, never let anyone, anything dim light. Thank being part community. Ready next step journey, explore resources, keep growing, evolving, always stay true self.